So we have a bird bath in the backyard. It's probably 2 feet tall, at least. It comes up to my knees. And it is almost under snow. That's how much snow we've gotten. Pretty exciting. It's supposed to snow almost through the night tonight, then a little more coming out on Saturday. Just get bitterly cold. Got that cloud, the polar vortex is making its fateful return. Pretty exciting. I need a save. I mean, we're at a point where I really like the doors that are opened. Where did we go? It was like we just went to the right, and there was a put your biomass here thing. Or save and reclaim biomass. Here? I'll bet it's here. Yeah, there it is. Success! Dun 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 dun. So I had this idea. I don't usually share ideas aloud because Ernest Hemingway had this superstition that whenever you shared something aloud, you took the magic out of it. But I've been playing Contra lately. Oh, see how I actually got stuck on meat hooks? Dude. There goes that man. Okay, we can misuse the void that binds. We can manipulate the energy of love. Or hate. But why have they not messed with Contra lately? Because it's like the best shooter of those retro classic games. It feels good, like crouching and just spamming the A button and throwing bullets out there and getting special guns still feels really good. And I thought about it a lot, and I had this idea of like a Contra, your spiritual successor, or I thought about what made Contra good. Why does it still hold up? And it's the guns, the reaction time, the gunplay. Oddly enough, even though it's a side-scrolling shooter, where the shooting actually feels good. And it's fast. Got a lot of momentum to it. And I thought, okay. The big thing about Contra is it feels really good as a shooter. And what if, rather than like make yet another... Whoa. I don't even know how that happened. I'll take it. What if, instead of developing like 50 million guns, like Borderlands style, or doing it like Halo style and having a few guns that work really well, you gotta take that essentially Contra thing, which is where you gain like a twin stick shooter, you gain the power-ups, the shotgun, and the power array, and all those cool guns. And you just start out and you have what's known as like a Mass Effect style, where there was Mass Effect 2, where there was no ammo. The technology was that you could you just shaved off clips. We start out and it's like a multi-tool, like clay, a gun made of clay. I'm trying to think of it. Obviously this is just like an idea. I have to work on the concept a lot, but just some sort of matter that could be manipulated and turned into anything, and guys would drop just like the classic Contra different power-ups. So you could combine it endlessly. If you wanted to make a shotgun sniper, you could make a shotgun sniper. Guys will drop like a shotgun drum, and you throw that on the multi-gun. Guys would drop like a sniper scope, put that on the multi-gun, and then you end up making your own gun, so it kind of has that Contra thing. At the same time, you would work on making the shooting really tight. But I wrote it down. Feels like it could be something. It could be something, maybe. Got to shout out those of you that watch these YouTube videos. We're shouting out a special guy here named Gorilla11B, twitch.tv. Gorilla11B. Been streaming the retro good dude, over 100 followers right now. Big name in the State of Decay community, I'd say, up and comer, no doubt about it. Doesn't have to run back and manipulate the void that binds every 2 seconds like myself. You guys getting snow in Michigan? We're getting snow right now. I was just telling the stream. We probably got over a foot. Definitely over a foot. I got a bird bath out back. Probably 1.5 to 2 foot tall. It's about to be under snow. Pretty exciting stuff. Dude, I hate these shielded guys. They're more of a pain in the ass than the mechs. I'm killing the mechs easier than these bastards. Take some time before I'm active on the streaming. Hey, still. over 100 followers doing the retro thing. You've already got a great setup. The stream is already quality. I will have to shovel. That's probably what I'll do after the stream for some exercise. You're telling me that a power slam from below did not just kill that guy? This is super risky. I don't care, we made it happen. I was just so done running back. Honestly, that last power slam, though, I feel like should have done it. Now we should go back. He's dead. We should go save. More time. Just one more time, just for the Gipper. Yeah, see, we're not having that 27 frame rate issue now. I changed the profile. And feedback good and bad. I'm planning on getting ripped by the summertime for this. You're gonna get ripped for the streams, huh? You're the only streamer, mark it down, that I've ever heard say their goal for streaming is to get ripped. Have no shame. Oh, so you're like trying to cash in on the sex thing? Is that a thing? Can guy streamers cash in on sex with streams? I thought we weren't even allowed to not go shirtless. There's the equivalent of streamer girls with guys. Is that a thing? Might learn something today. I'm excited. Follow a shirtless guy. He's really good. Like, really good at working out, or he's really good at streaming, or he's got, like, that sort of streamer girl setup going. I didn't know that there was, like, a female version of simp. I don't think I'm saying that in a derogatory way, either. I mean, it's just a classification. Obviously, it's like people who do OnlyFans. Hey, all the Metroids are released. The galaxy is safe. Does push-ups and stuff? Oh, so you're gonna do like workout streams? Oh, here we go. Parasitism. Assume direct control of... Oh, cool. Subs get Snapchat. Ooh. Obviously, this man existed and was born only for this moment. I crouch. How far does the control go? Can I just play the rest of the game, person? Look at all the gore. Apparently, it goes pretty far. Wow. That is a long brain work. Oh, look, we are starting to lose some control. Oh, we're coming back home to daddy. Mother? Mother? Oh, I thought you were being serious. Hey, man, there's nothing wrong with that. Business is business. Hustle is hustle. Whoa. Oh, that was so cool. Come on, that was so cool. That was so good. That's the best animation so far in this game. You control the person, you got a big tube in the back of their brain. Reminds me, have you guys seen, if you haven't, you need to watch it. It's a Korean show on Netflix called Sweet Home. It's about people turned into monsters. And it starts to go down that whole, like, crazy, you know, Eastern thing, storylines that kind of don't make sense, but it's still, like, super entertaining. It's really good. And, it reminds me a bit of that, because there's a monster in there in about midway through the show that does something similar to that. I've seen Body Snatchers, like Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the classic one from the 70s. But still on my fitness goals. Good for you, man. Good for you. It's almost giving me an excuse to share my pictures. I used to be big into bodybuilding. I actually won a couple amateur shows. Well, I won one. I still won a bodybuilding competition. But I don't really like bodybuilding anymore. I love lifting, I guess. Yeah, I do. I love lifting, but bodybuilding is kind of a very, very strange sport. It is a very strange sport. Super subjective. You gain some really narcissistic qualities. It has to become your entire life an obsession. And I think I've ranted on this and talked on it a bunch. And you have almost no functionality. Almost none. You can look good. You can look good. But I'd go out with my dad, who was an oil man. We'd work. He had, 14-inch arms and a pot belly. He was like he looked like your stereotypical blue-collar guy. And as far as, working. And we go out in the wells, and that was always hard work. You get out there in the summer, and the weeds are tall, and the brush, and it's hard work. And he could outwork the hell out of me. He had more stamina. He had more endurance. He could freaking run pipe, dig holes, pump the wells all day. And I'd be tired by midday. I'm sitting here with I got my bodybuilding arms, 16, 17-inch guns, and you got the 20-inch thighs and all this shit. 30-inch waist, looking good for pictures, all oiled up. It's fucking weird, and I hated that part of it. I hated that part of it, and I never have looked back. Powerlifting is so much healthier and so much more functional. Just my 2 cents on the topic. God dang it, it did that 27 thing again. What's causing that to occur? It shouldn't be doing that. I'm getting lost. And just want to... there's things about the sport also. It's very, very expensive. Very, very expensive to maintain bodybuilding. The diet alone will double, triple your grocery bills. So to me, it just becomes all about being healthy. And there was some camaraderie with some of the guys that I did shows with when I would meet them, but there's also a lot of freaking meatheads. That stereotype is real. I got really into Mike Menser and Frank Zane, started reading their books, and then I would talk to other guys about it, yeah. Started getting into philosophy and stuff. I went ahead and threw that book in the garbage. That was almost a direct quote I had with a guy one time. That meathead shit is obnoxious. And I got sick of seeing naked guys. You see it once or twice when you wrestle because guys got to make weight, But with bodybuilding, they don't give a shit. Everybody just gets fucking naked all the time. And I guess my Puritan ancestors and my upbringing, it just made me feel really, really awkward, and I didn't like it at all. Guys are constantly swinging their dicks around, walking around naked, putting on tanning lotion, and it's just this is fucking... I don't want to be around this. So that ended my run with bodybuilding. Damn me up, bro. Dude, it was real. There was some cool people I met that bodybuilded. One guy was a math teacher, and I really got along with him well. And there was, the guys that really took it serious and were into the science of it, because bodybuilding is always at that frontier, honestly, of physical science. They push boundaries. It's a sport of extremes, and they figure out some things with the body that other people aren't tuned into, and then years later everyone says, oh yeah, we're in on this shit. Well, it was probably the bodybuilding community 20 years ago that was already in on it. Because they'll pop pills, they'll do the roids, they'll change their diet. I love the science experiment aspect of bodybuilding. That's what got me into it. I have a much tougher time. That's what I was. I was natural. I've never done steroids. I don't intend to. Because what's the point? What the fuck's the point? Being bigger? If there's only so big you really need to be and still be comfortable, still be able to function. And it's shit for your heart, and it's shit for your liver. It's expensive. It'll shrink your balls right up. Most of those guys from the golden age of bodybuilding are dead. I've been going in a circle now. I've lost all sense of progress because of this conversation. But most of those guys are fucking dead. But the natural bodybuilding, the testing is so lenient. We took a polygraph test. is what we did. I built with Natty Light. Like anybody, honestly, it's not tough to beat polygraphs. But some of those guys who were legit natural, they were big. They knew what they were doing. You got to be so damn disciplined. So disciplined. No cheat meals, no breaking, no breaks, no ifs, ands, or buts, no excuses. If you break the diet, it's all over for you. It's crazy. It's impressive. It's an obsession. You're absolutely right. You nailed it. It's an obsession. That is another big element of why I had to quit doing it. I was obsessed, but again, I like the science element. I have tons of bodybuilding books here, and I literally wrote out many of them by hand. One mass. I wrote that book out by hand. Had a lot of good science into it. So it was a super valuable time. It's not like I regret that time, but I also am glad I got out. Just the money alone to do it is, God, it's obscene. Looks like there's a path down. I'm going to try to do that. Maybe stop going in a circle. Roids are legal now in Oregon? Really? I'll be damned. Yeah, I still don't believe in doing steroids. I mean, I'm not against it. If you want to do steroids, I think they should be legal. I think that's your own choice. I just didn't... When guys who do steroids make that argument, like, where are the bodies? It's completely safe. Where are the bodies? It's like smoking. You can't directly contribute any one death to smoking. You don't see on the coroner's report they died of smoking unless they asphyxiate. You die of emphysema, or you get cancer of any sort. The multitude of things that come with smoking, the complications down the road, because you're increasing the... It's been the biggest thing that the smoking industry has used to try to act as a counter, is like, you can't directly... Why do some people who never smoke cigarettes get cancer, and why do some people who smoke their whole life not get cancer? And that's still not really all that well known, but so because of that little bit of doubt within the and because we use inductive reasoning in science, you now have a way to form an argument. Even when you know it's, you know, a lie on the face of it. I don't know where I went wrong. I felt like we were finally going to find more progress. This last episode has just been ranting. Already missed it, though. Let's just be real. Let's just be real. There's a little bit of a level to bodybuilding that is homoerotic. And I'm not a homophobe. I don't give a shit about that. But it's, dude, it's another element of it. It's there. You know it's there. You got guys... There's a lot of pornography that goes on in bodybuilding. It's kind of a dirty sport. It's not like, you know, Arnold's and those guys at all anymore. It's a totally different kind of a thing now. Oh, wait, can I pass through this or what? All drugs are. In Oregon? I thought it was just like limited amounts for like addicts and shit. They were doing the whole like, hey, look, we saw this in a Michael Moore documentary. It must work. So I guess now we need lanes for drunk drivers and shit. No, we gotta just keep... Don't worry about it. I don't mean we need mass incarceration, but come the fuck on. And you don't penalize it at all. I understand a lot of people that get hooked on drugs. Some of them are just in a bad way, but they're still addicts. You can't just let them go. You gotta put them in a healthcare facility or something. You gotta just start... You can't just... It's whatever. It's not just fucking whatever. The DUIs are still in place. They legalized every substance. Probably public intoxication stuff. I think there's a middle grounds. Where you don't just lock up every junkie, but you also don't say, yeah, you're free to be a junkie. But we'll see. You know, at least it's happening in Oregon and not nationwide. And we'll see how their experiment goes. And maybe I can get out of this level at some point. If their experiment goes well, then hey. The man, hey man, we can push each other. I've never competed. I just want to be healthy. That's real work. That's true. That is the real hard work. And just being healthy, that's absolutely what you got to go for. That I completely agree with. That's what I go for anymore. That's what I go for. Like I said yesterday, I enjoyed my condition 100 times more when I was a cross-country runner than a bodybuilder. Bodybuilding is kind of uncomfortable too. Like, yeah, I mean, it feels good to look good naked, right? There's no... Oh, my God. It was this fucking simple this whole time. This whole time. It was just as simple as go down, jackass. I think. Wait, was it not this simple? Back to the mech room. It wasn't that simple. What am I missing here? Where do I need to go? Decriminalized means if you get caught, you're not going to be jailed. Just fine and put in treatment. Well, from what I had read on it, Wilso, it was like they might fine you and they might put you in medical treatment. It's like it's not a 100% consistent thing. Like 100%, we're going to get you in treatment. We're going to get you to a hospital. But I'll tell you what, I've been around addicts, and treatment is not at all guaranteed. I mean, you don't give up. It's not like you give up, but I'm telling you, it's... You have to have so much patience because they lie. And I'm not saying it's because they're liars, it's because of the drug. The drugs make them into liars. They're not really ready, or they're not really serious. And a lot of the time they'll go through the motion. They take it as a way to, you know, you clean up for a little bit, get some free food, and then you head home on the taxpayer's dime, and then you're right back into the habit. That's why in that show Intervention, they always make them leave. Hey, you gotta change your life. You gotta leave the town where you usually get your fix, and you gotta start over from scratch. People that become addicts, it's crazy how efficient they are at getting their hookup. They can sniff it out. People, places, and things are the triggers. Right. So you can't just like, oh, hey, I see that you have no money in the bank account, you have no employment prospects, your health is fucked, you're in your 50s, and you're an addict. Let's put you in a facility where we'll get you sober in 21 days on the taxpayer's dime, and then re-release you into the exact same environment with the exact same set of problems. And yeah, we'll feel real progressive about it. But what do you know? You're going to be right back in the facility again. Sure, it's a much more humane way of looking at the problem. It's better than just mass incarceration. But it's not going to fix anything. Until you fix the environment, and those people have a willingness to change their life, or want to change their life. If it saves one life, it's probably worth it. But anybody who's under any sort of false notion that this is going to be goddamn paradise on earth and we fix the problem, it's misled. Portugal did it like 20 years ago. The idea being it's not a mandatory minimum of jail time. Like, and that's good. That I'm for. Obviously, the whole war on drugs thing, that's been a terrible disaster. It's one of the reasons we're at this situation, right, with the whole policing. You put the police at war with their own citizens in the 70s. And we haven't quite recovered from that yet. We haven't. So that's good. But I think anybody who says, hey, that's going to fix everything, you just do what happens in Michael Moore documentaries and it's all good now, I got a bridge to sell you. Dude, this is just a circle. Did we win? Let's just say we beat it. The game's over. Episode 5 of this is bodybuilding and drugs. People, places, and things. I agree. Treating addiction as a disease, which is fine. We've been doing that here with the opioids. But guess what's happened with the opioid epidemic? Sure, it's still here, but it became a meth epidemic, and that's what they don't talk about. They went through and changed all the rules. They did what politicians do. Oh, there's a problem. There's a problem. There's a trend we're hearing about. Okay, we're gonna fucking deal with it. So from DeWine, who's a Republican, to the guy who ran against him, Cordray, they were all hardliners. Oh, we're going to deal with this opioid problem. So doctors would get fired, and we sued the pharmaceutical companies and this whole thing. And everybody came out on when the gubernatorial race happened and said, hey, look, I dealt with it. It's over. We dealt with it. Sure, you became hardliners on opioids. So what happens? There's people like my grandma who have chronic pain because she's got bone spurs and she's got degenerative arthritis in her spine, and she's got a knee that needs replaced but will never be replaced. She's always about a 6 out of 10 on the pain scale. And there's people like that. They have to manage pain every day. They have chronic pain. Now they can't get pain pills because everybody took a fucking hard line. Oh, we got to get rid of these opioids. We got to get rid of them. They're the problem. Everything has a black and a white to it. So what happened with the opioids, people got on them, and then they turned to heroin. And now it's a meth epidemic because it turns out they were really just going for whatever was cheap. Whatever was cheap. Yeah, opioids are overprescribed. There's no doubt about it. People have to learn to live with some level of pain sometimes. But making it so that people who have any kind of ailment that gives them, some people have nerve disorders, gives them constant shooting pain. Cutting those people off from being able to live a normal life is wrong, in my opinion. But that's effectively what happened. Like, she has to re-up her scripts. Instead of just, like, giving her the pills, and she's old school, man. Old school people don't take that shit. They'll fucking grit their teeth. They'll wait until they're a 10 out of 10 on the pain scale until they'll even take them. But it's a huge pain in the ass now. I just don't know the way forward. I guess it's because I'm not focusing. But, it's real. I saw a guy, I've witnessed it, my own, not what I really care about or knew properly, but people I was friends with in high school who became opioid addicts would invariably, you meet people that aren't, you call them your friends, but they're not really your friends. You're just using one another to get your fixes. They met this guy from Columbus who was a complete pillhead, and he had a script for Percocet. He'd go and and it was a 90-day supply, and it was nothing to get. Nothing. And how he lived is he sold 30 of them for like $2, $3 a pop, and then he would just lay in bed, and he would take all of his pills till he ran out. And then he would sit in this tiny little apartment and he'd watch porn. And I'm not even joking. That was his whole entire life. That was his life. It's pretty sad. But that guy didn't want to change. He doesn't think he has a problem. They don't think they have a problem. And there's enough of a safety net that they never have to face it. They do have a problem. Tough thing to deal with. Dude, what is the way forward? I've gone in this circle now 5 times. I probably have to manipulate something. Somewhat. No, this just closes the door. Go down this path again. See, we're back to... This thing doesn't want to stay at a stable frame rate. There's no way it's the replay. Oops. Then again. Oh my god. What is the way forward here? The whole episode is probably just gonna be fucking cut because it doesn't accomplish anything. Unless you want to watch me be lost for 30 minutes talking about the war on drugs. People get real touchy on that, man. The whole institution of policing, you ask any questions about it. You can respect and venerate cops and call them heroes and say, hey, they got a really tough beat. Dangerous. Serve and protect. Say at the same time, but there needs to be some serious reforms that people will still get real fucking iffy about you. They'll look at you with a absolutely crooked face. think you know, you're one of them. Guess sloganeering gets people killed. I'm gonna assume small form, just to do something, just to try and do something. This door's gotta open, but I have no idea how we open it. And I can't reach anything here. So that's not the path either. This OBS is just being... Something's fucking wrong with OBS right now. I kind of wonder... Oh, is the receiver still connected? It's gonna be something. Gotta be something. Because at 1% CPU... Yeah, this episode's almost certainly gonna get that now. Both paths down lead to the exact same spot. The exact same. But we know that's not the way. You go down here and it's just that other switch. Oh, we've already pressed. In fact, you can't even manipulate it. Dead. Go ahead and get our biomass. What am I missing? There's something easy that I'm missing. It's almost worth keeping this episode just to see, like, how many times I've probably passed something really obvious and everyone's had to sit here and go. Naked Gun style. Speaking of circles, someone has got to tell me, too, how the hell I utilize these power-ups. I feel like that's the game's fault, though. Something like a power-up should not be a complicated matter. Opening this door does nothing for us. But going back up just leads to the same damn places. Where does this go? No, this is the scientist. We can't seem to open this door. We killed the droids here, I think. Oh, here. Why don't we use the fucking echolocation? Maybe that'll help. This is just gonna lead up to that room again. We've been in this room 15 fucking times. Back down we go. And we shot out of there like a hot turd. That's the post-Taco Bell look. Okay, well, we made it back. Oh, it's this place again. Still nothing at all we can do with... Hey! Feel dumb. Oh, this is gonna be really tough. That might be the way. I feel like it is the way. I feel like I need to manipulate... Oh my god, this took me way too long. Oh, but it's still gonna be tricky. So tricky that I just don't even know if it's doable. That turret. I don't know. Because he doesn't walk that far forward. I gotta go get biomass back. But we know how. I've gone in the circle long enough now that it should only take me 5 or 6 routes 5 or 6 times around the big circle to figure it out. There we go. We effectively immortalized my argument for the war and for and against drugs. Good, good, good. Glad that's there for posterity. And we gave a brief history of homoerotica and bodybuilding. Took 30 minutes to figure out a simple problem, but I don't even think I've really figured it out. Unless this guy goes past this turret all the way to the Coke machine. Okay, now the turret needs to turn. Okay, now get this fucking guy. Okay, it does not appear I can actually get rid of the turret. Oh, but the turret doesn't give a shit about me. Even though I'm firing like a madman at it. Oh my god, that took me way too long to figure. That at least opened a door. Let's keep going with this guy for a minute. I guess I'm going to keep the episode for all posterity. Well, this guy served us well, but I think we'll kill him by throwing him down a big shaft, a big elevator shaft or something. I think we have, basically, we can go as far as we want. It's just a matter of, I don't think we have all that much time. I should have brought that guy back just for the animation. Wow, that took me a disappointingly long time to figure out. Damn. This is the best ability. Oh, the body just sliding. There's still impact to the bullets. Oh, okay, we should stop because that guy, come back to your master. No, I don't even think I can eat them. They should have made it so you can eat these guys once you fill them full of bullet holes. Like, softened up. Oh my god, we did it. That took so much longer than it probably should have. I just had to think about it just a little bit. It turns out that ranting about bodybuilding and the war on drugs is not very conducive to thinking. Who would have thought it? These long, incoherent rants do not synergize with what is known as rational thought. Obviously, our next ability has got to be, how do we get rid of that? I still feel like... just keep pulling triggers. We already squeezed in here, right? We already... Look at that. Look at all the layers of teeth. I think I always do what the game really doesn't want you to do, which is, hey, let's go this random path. Hey, look, a side path. Let's go down it. See what happens. Rather than just going straight down. Now I think we're back on the main path. There's got to be a save soon. Oh, wow, we're way back. We're way back. Why did it send us back here? Metroidvania. Gotta be a reason for this. That's blocked off. We already experienced that. We already went down this. This led to the same place. Okay, we haven't gone to the right. Heals breach 50%. Biomass samples lost 50%. Does that mean we're 50% through the game, I wonder? Looks like we already flicked that switch. That's where we've killed a drone. Somehow we've had a major backtracking. Here's a save, though. Take that. We already did this puzzle. I remember this area. Really where we like first get the invis powers. I feel like we're just one power away from opening a lot of doors. I think I'm gonna go in. I think I'm getting seriously lost now, but... You guys don't mind, would you guys tell me if you notice any FPS drops happening? Because I keep looking over and it's like 27 FPS every now and again. Is that just like very briefly happening to where it's not even noticeable, or... Trying to kind of let my instincts guide me, and I think that's a mistake. Go in here, I guess. Now I'm just totally randomly going down paths. I feel like the game was directing us to a point where I may have to even load a checkpoint. See, this game really needs an overmap. Maybe that would kind of break the whole role-playing as a monster thing. It would just help. I know I'm near the, like, beginning now. Which would be okay if I could get that one power-up that I missed. So we figured out a puzzle just to get completely lost again. How not to play Carrion, but we're on the verge of, I think. Look, we're back to going round and round like a merry-go-round. Let's go to the right now. Let's keep going to the right and see what happens. Let's just keep going to the right. Hey, an elevator. Can we do something with this? And there's not even people left alive over here to like manipulate and try new stuff with. We've opened a lot of paths over here in our brief time. Just go in here. Oh, it's a save. Oh, that's regrettable. That's probably what we didn't want to do. At a path? No? An overripe monkey. Okay, I think we gotta just go to the last checkpoint. Hey, look, it's when we streamed last. Let's go to checkpoint. Let's hope it's not too far away. Let's call it an episode.